Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am honestly so incredibly excited to have you here today because, well, we're looking at something that is just completely fascinating. We're talking about an invisible, extremely hardworking mineral that secretly controls almost everything in your body. I'm talking about a nutrient that oversees everything from your sexual health and your immune system all the way down to your actual daily willpower. It's literally working behind the scenes right now, but there's a really good chance you aren't giving it the attention it deserves.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever felt like you just lack the sheer willpower to build new habits? Maybe you struggle to put your phone down at night, or you're dealing with this unexplained brain fog, or even experiencing a low libido. Normally, we just write these things off, right? We blame stress, getting older, or we just think of it as a personal failing. But what if these super frustrating everyday symptoms are actually directly connected to one surprising, missing physiological link?
That missing link is zinc. And get this, over 15% of the entire global population is currently deficient in this vital mineral. That is a massive, massive problem. Think of zinc as basically the master key that's required to keep the incredibly complex machine of your body running smoothly. When that key goes missing, the machinery doesn't just stop cold. Instead, it slowly, quietly starts breaking down across multiple different systems.
Section 1. The hidden power of zinc. What exactly is this mysterious key?
So, zinc is what we call a trace element. In biology, you'll sometimes hear it referred to as an oligo element, which just means it's an essential mineral required in very small quantities. But the absolute most crucial part of this definition is the very end. Your body cannot synthesize it on its own. You literally have to get it from your diet. And hey, just because you only need a trace amount, do not let that fool you. This tiny element is absolutely critical for major life-saving tasks. Things like repairing your DNA, reducing the risk of heart attacks, and even stimulating autophagy, which is that amazing process where your cells clean out damaged debris.
To really understand just how deep this goes, consider this number, 300. That's the number of bodily enzymes that rely directly on zinc to function. And this brilliantly illustrates why this is such a big deal. If you're deficient, hundreds of your physiological processes don't completely shut off, but they will run hundreds of times slower. Your body essentially gets stuck in slow motion.
Section 2. Zinc and Sexual Health, the biological foundation of performance.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer scale of the generational change we're looking at. It's alarming, to be honest. Over the last 40 years, average male testosterone levels have dropped by a staggering 40%, compared to men of the exact same age back in the 1980s. But here's the good news. The absolute highest concentration of zinc in the entire human body is found in the prostate. It is absolutely vital for sexual health, semen production, and maintaining testosterone. And studies show that if you're deficient, supplementing zinc alongside things like magnesium, vitamin D, and boron can literally help double your testosterone levels.
But it's not just about hormones. It's about the actual physical mechanics. The biological equation basically goes like this. Zinc plus nitric oxide equals vasodilation. To maintain an erection, you need the blood vessels in the corpus cavernosum to dilate. And zinc and nitric oxide are the two absolute key substances that stimulate this exact process. So a deficit in zinc is heavily associated with the modern increases we're seeing in erectile dysfunction.
Section 3. Metabolism, immunity, and digestion. The engine room of your body. So if the prostate holds the highest concentration of zinc, the organ holding the second highest concentration is your pancreas. Zinc actually helps your pancreas produce the correct amount of insulin. Lacking it dramatically increases your risk of insulin resistance, prediabetes, and all sorts of issues with blood sugar. Secondly, it powers your digestive proteases. This means if you're eating plenty of healthy protein but you lack zinc, you literally cannot break down and absorb those nutrients effectively. And finally, immunity. Low zinc is directly associated with a much higher frequency of getting sick, specifically from viral infections.
Section 4. Mood and detoxification, clearing the mind and the body.
Through modern diets and environmental contamination, we are constantly, and I mean constantly, exposed to harmful heavy metals. Things like mercury, cadmium, and aluminum, which can lead to severe depression, ADHD, and even memory loss. But thankfully, your body has this built-in defense mechanism called metallothioneins. These are specific proteins that literally drag toxic heavy metals right out of your system. But here's the catch. These detoxifying proteins are completely dependent on zinc and copper to function. Without zinc, your shield is down and those toxins just build up.
Let's connect this biological chemistry to your everyday life for a second. Have you ever wondered why you just can't seem to stick to a gym routine or why you can't put down social media?
Well, it all comes down to an enzyme called dopamine hydroxylase. Zinc is the vital cofactor that activates this enzyme, allowing your body to produce noradrenaline, which is then used to make dopamine. High, stable levels of dopamine give you the literal willpower to sustain habit changes. So your lack of discipline, it might actually just be a lack of dopamine caused by low zinc. Crazy, right?
Section 5. Signs of a deficit. Is your body asking for help? So the crucial point is figuring out if this is actually happening to you.
Look at this list: brain fog, depression, low willpower, erectile dysfunction and insulin resistance, even skin issues like acne and rosacea. Normally, we treat all of these as completely separate, totally unrelated problems. We end up going to different doctors for each one. But seeing them all together like this shows how deeply systemic a zinc deficiency really is. Because it's required for those 300 enzymes we talked about earlier, a shortage causes alarm bells to ring in completely different systems all at the exact same time.
Section 6. How to recover your levels. Actionable steps for optimal health.
So the most powerful way to fix this is, of course, through your diet. First up, we have animal sources. Oysters are the absolute natural king of zinc. Actually, they've been used for centuries as a famous natural aphrodisiac for this exact biological reason. Grass-fed beef, lamb, pork, and crab are also incredibly highly bioavailable, which just means your body absorbs the zinc from them super easily. Then we have plant sources like lentils, beans, and pumpkin seeds. Now these are good, but there's a catch. They contain naturally occurring compounds called phytates. Phytates act like a shield, inhibiting and blocking the absorption of minerals. So the zinc in plants is just a lot harder for your body to extract.
Let's move to and see how this builds your structured action plan. Step 1. Check your symptoms and get a blood test. Now keep in mind, 90% of zinc is actually hidden inside your muscles and bones, so a blood test isn't perfect, but combined with your symptoms, it gives you a really clear picture. Step 2. Eat those zinc-rich whole foods several times a week. And if that isn't enough, we arrive at Step 3. Use short-term, targeted supplements.
Now, if you do need to supplement, look for highly absorbable forms like zinc gluconate, zinc citrate, or zinc bicolinate. But please, hear this warning, biology absolutely demands balance. You should only use supplements for short periods to fix a deficit. If you go out and take 10 to 20 times the recommended daily value over a long period, you are going to experience nausea, abdominal pain, and fatigue. And even more dangerously, long-term overdosing will completely block your body's ability to absorb iron and copper, and it can negatively alter your cholesterol levels.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this incredibly empowering thought. Living a healthier life doesn't always require pure willpower. Sometimes it just requires the right nutrients. So I challenge you to ask yourself today, are your daily struggles, whether it's brain fog, a lack of discipline, or physical performance, truly just personal failings? Or are they simply a hidden mineral deficit, just waiting to be solved? Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and I really hope this gives you the key you need to unlock your health.